Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kebicho YouTube channel. Uh, it's a beautiful Sunday that the Lord has made for all of us. We have been told by scientists that we were going to experience uphelon, meaning that this particular time the weather ought to be very cold, and as such, people had so many fears in whatever they were doing. But I thank God that God does not operate the same way we operate, and this is another very bright, warm day that the Lord has made for us. It is the electioneering period, and I thought, because more often than not, most of us people don't have the forum to express our views and rather to share with people what ought to be done or what are the bare minimum expectations from our leaders. I thought it was wise for me to come and light a few things and exchange a few things with you people to see how best we can manage the oncoming general elections. We are looking for leaders now. One of the things that we must ask ourselves, this is year 2022, we are going to give our leaders a mandate for 5 years to lead us and to tell us what ought to be, what it is that they want to do for us. It is important that when you give somebody a position to lead you for 5 years, you need to be extra careful, because those 5 years will determine either whether you succeed or fail in the endeavors to make things happen in life. So one of the things that we need to appreciate is that there are what we call qualities of a leader or a great leader that we're intending to have on board. And this one cuts across, whether it is an MCA, whether it's a woman rep, whether it is an MP, whether it's a senator or a governor or a president, these qualities cuts across. And I thought it was good for me to come and share with you. You never know, maybe out there I may touch one person who may touch another person, and that person may touch another person, and in the final analysis things will be very different and things will be much better. So I am here to just mention a few things that will make us people to know what it is that we need to do, so that people can be able to make a decision which is purely based on an informed choice. Now, one of the things that a leader must possess in the first place is what we call integrity, the kind of people that we have. And sometimes you have had people who have been implicated in scandals coming up with various explanations that do not end up. The question is, in the first place, how do we, as leaders or as voters, how do we make sure that the people that we bring on board are people who meet certain thresholds? People who meet thresholds means that these are people who do not have people without reproach. And people without reproach means that one of the things that you must always appreciate is that these are individuals who have not been implicated in scandals, people who are beyond reproach. What I mean by that, how come in a population of more than 500 leaders or 1,000 leaders, you are the only individual who has been implicated in a scandal? Why do you take that as an excuse that maybe the government of the day is actually biased in terms of the operations? How come in a crowded field of 10 people, you are the only one being picked? So matters integrity are key. And our constitution has dedicated a whole chapter on leadership and integrity. Why do we overlook that? So we need, as voters, as people going forward, to give us the leaders that we want in the year 2022, on 9th August 2022. We need to ask ourselves some very pertinent questions. Who are those individuals who are going to lead us? If somebody has actually been implicated in a scandal, why should we give that person a chance to go and manage our funds? Automatically, by the end of the day, by very nature, by very DNA that guides that particular individual, he will still go and steal from the public coffers. And because we do not have short of labor supply, we have individuals who have offered themselves, who are as clean, who are as white as snow. Why don't we go for them? So one of the things that we must look for a leader or a great leader is matter to do with integrity. The other thing is visionary, able to see the bigger picture. What is it that we are being promised? And this particular individual promising us from his own cocoon, from his own base, what has this particular individual done that may be used as a basic parameter to know that he can be able to share with us a vision that will actually activate and make it come to pass? Very, very important. Vision, vision, vision. We need to have what we call a leader who is visionary, a leader who can be able to express himself, where we are, where we have come from, where we are, and most importantly, where we are heading. Very, very, very important. So a visionary leader is very, very, very important. Do we have such? It's us people as voters. It actually it is incumbent upon us It is our responsibility, using the people who are there, people who are bright, people who are wise, to know whether the individuals flaunting themselves do have this element of vision in their manifesto and whether they can be able to deliver. The other thing is that we require people, leaders who can inspire, inspiration leaders, people who are able to convey their vision, people who are able to let us know that whatever it is that they are doing, they have the ability to inspire us so that we can be able to move on to the next level. Inspirational leaders. So a leader must be inspirational by very nature. We also require somebody who is strategic and somebody who is strategic. Strategic means somebody who can be able to go and lobby for the resources to be brought into his area of leadership. Somebody who can be able to use what we call the available resources, using his critical thinking capabilities to actually even mobilize resources from other quarters, not necessarily from the public coffers, but as a person with a very good moral standing, that he or she can be able to go out there and make those people that can become partners in a given area to come on board and help and make things happen. So very, very important, strategic thinkers, somebody who thinks critically, somebody who can be able to tell us, let us do an analysis of this nature so that we can be able to move to the next level. Very, very important, very, very important. The other thing that we need to look at is what we call somebody who can have what we call high levels of interpersonal communication. You are leading a group of men and women with diverse brains, with diverse capacities. Now, how do you communicate to all of them? How do you cut across without hurting other individuals within the establishment so that they can also participate fully in making your endeavors come to pass? Very, very, very important. Interpersonal communication is key in any given organization, because you see, we do not come from the same background. And even if we do, we don't think in the same way. Our effort of executing things are different, and therefore we come from different diverse cultures. We come from different orientations. So how do we ensure that this issue of interpersonal communication, you'll be able to interact with all and sundry so that everybody feels that you're genuine in your endeavor to make things happen? Very, very important. The other thing is that we require a leader who is authentic in nature and somebody who is self-aware of himself or herself. An authentic leader is the one who actually goes to that level of that person on the ground to understand what it is, what are the impediments, what are the barriers, what are the obstacles, what are those challenges that these people go through, so that as you try to tackle them, you have first-hand experience. You know what it is that those people want. More often than not, leaders only come to us during campaigns. They come and they promise us heaven here on earth. But by the end of the 5 years term, they have done nothing. And the most unfortunate thing is that most of us Kenyans, we have been taken for a ride for a long period of time. How many times have we voted? Since 1963, we've been conducting elections. But the same lies that we are used in the year 1965, 1978 are the same lies being peddled today by the leaders that we have. And no wonder why, if you look at, we've been talking about Kenya having been at the same level with Singapore and South Korea. Yet now, if you go to Singapore, Singapore is like a small heaven. We are still having issues here with our education matters. We are still having issues in terms of our infrastructure. We are still having issues in terms of health. So what are we talking about? What is it that has made these people, the Singaporeans, to be where they are, the South Koreans to be where they are? It is purely matters corporate governance. How do you run your affairs? We need to have a leader who is authentic in nature. And I want to remind our voters that politics are local. Politics are local. You should be more concerned about the MCA, because it is not the president at the top who will influence the decisions to be made at the ward. It is that particular MCA. So as you elect an MCA, you need to bring on board an MCA who has got a diverse way of thinking, who is competent enough, who has the capacity, who has the ability to be able even to present your issues in the county assembly and help registration take place. So it's not about bringing an MCA because you love him, because he looks nice, because he's beautiful or she is beautiful. No, we require an MCA whose mental faculties are up to the task. So very, very important, because we are saying that politics are local. And that the same applies even to matters to do with what we call the MP. We require an MP who is down to earth. We require an MP who knows that he's a servant. He's not a master but a servant. The current crop of MPs that we have, there are also some semi-demigods. There are people who feel that, they first of all manipulate the voters and they make them to take them to those positions. But in terms of delivery, it is quite not acceptable. So we need to look at that. The other thing, and of course that one applies even to the woman rep, the senator, the governor, and of course to the president. The other thing that we require is somebody who is open-minded, somebody who has no fixed mindset, because fixed mindsets don't give us results. We require somebody, and I've told people, new mindset, new results. So we require a leader who can be able to pay attention to the issues being raised by the people that will be leading, and he factors that into his plans. Why? Because a leader with an open mindset will always take and tap from the issues being raised by the people that he is leading. So a leader who is open-minded is a very, very important somebody who can have what we call a platform to be guided and to receive more information from the people that he is leading. So we're talking about a leader who is flexible. What does a flexible leader mean? A flexible leader means that this leader will not only go and stay in parliament and he comes telling us, gesticulating that he has been addressing the three issues. The matters to do with what we call registration, matters to do with what we call oversight, and matters to do with what we have what we call registration, oversight, and representation. We already know that. So, but this is a leader who should create time for his people at whatever capacity. Whether you're an MCA, whether you're a woman, an MP, a woman rep, a senator, or a governor, even a president, we would expect you to have the feel, that feel. I talked about it in terms of authentic. We require a leader who will come and, of course, get to hear what it is that people are talking about on the ground, and you're flexible. And you do not serve people based on their academics. You don't serve people based on their financial muscle. So we require a flexible who is adaptable to what people expect of him or her. We require a responsible and dependable leader. Who is a responsible leader? A responsible leader is the one who ensures that whatever the resources that has been given to him or her are efficiently utilized to meet issues on priority basis. So you can't tell me that you can first of all start thinking of how to build what we call maybe an office for an MP or an office for your secretariat while people are dying because of lack of medicine. We require a leader who is totally conscious of the needs, the sensitive needs of the people that he or she is leading. We require a leader who is patient. So a very patient leader. A patient leader means that you have that ear for everybody, irrespective of how these people express and explain themselves. Because by the end of the day, you are a leader to all of us, to the educated, to semi-literate, to the illiterate. You are a leader to everybody. So make sure that you have time for everybody that you think, or not that you think, but that you serve within your given jurisdiction. What about being tenacious? A tenacious leader is one who can withstand even the most difficult times. So those are the kind of leaders that we want. And we need to first of all ask ourselves, do we have such the current retinue that we have of leaders seeking for various elective positions? We require a leader who will be able to embrace what we call the Kaizen philosophy. Kaizen philosophy means continuous improvement. We have had some leaders, because they did not want to come and lie on what the other leader was doing prior to their being elected. They come and, of course, they ignore whatever projects the other leader was doing, and that is what we call waste of resources. We require a leader who is conscious of the resources and how scarce they are, and how best they can be used to be able to take your jurisdiction to another level. We also require a leader who is emotionally mature. We do not want a leader who becomes irrational. Like, I know one of the governors that are not mentioned here, who is actually so emotional. He actually throws tantrums without considering that he's a leader. We require a sober leader, a leader who cannot go throwing words, or who cannot go suffering from what we call verbal diarrhea. We require a leader who is totally composed, a leader who is emotionally mature, that even in the most provocative situation, you can still contain yourself and solve a problem without necessarily bringing out the inner character of who you are. We require a leader who is approachable, somebody who can be approached by the people he's leading or she's leading. We require a leader who has financial acumen. Issues to do with resources are with you. So how competent are you in terms of managing those resources? So I wish wherever you are Kenyans, you'll be able now to make a good decision, because we always complain. We are the people. Children don't vote. We are the people who vote. But more often than not, we are the people complaining. Why do we complain? We are the people who put those guys there. So let's look for leaders who can be able to meet these things I have explained. A leader who is actually a person of integrity, a visionary leader, an inspirational leader. We require a strategic and critical thinker leader. We require a leader who is endowed with what we call interpersonal skills. We require a leader who is authentic and somebody who is self-aware of himself. A leader who is open-minded. A leader who is flexible. A leader who is responsible and dependable. A leader who is patient. patient and tenacious, and a leader who has got this philosophy of continuous improvement, a leader who is a relationship builder, a leader who is emotionally mature, a leader who is actually has what we call the financial acumen. If we can do that, come a 9th August, I think our lives will be different. And with those many remarks, I thank God for you. I wish you a good time as you decide on your next leader. God bless you. Shalom. Thank you.